Hey Darnell, it's Miss Da Silva, your school counselor. Thanks for joining me. We are going to continue with our discussion, the lesson that I started with you last week, where I was talking to you about all these challenges that we're facing and how important it is for us to take on these challenges with our best abilities so that we can continue to develop and grow our brain. So, right now, even though things are so tough, it's a really good opportunity for all of us to be flexible and continue to try our hardest. So, let's get back to where we left off and keep learning about this. So, we were talking about the difference between a fixed versus a growth mindset. And if you remember, I was sharing with you that for us to get through these challenges, it's so important for us to control our mindset and try our hardest to stay in a growth mindset. Let's watch a video that will go over fixed versus growth mindset again as a review for you. And remember, you have the power over your mindset. So let's watch.
The greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change his future by merely changing his attitude.
Hi, everybody. My name is Joe. I want to talk to you about creating a growth mindset. I heard that you've been learning about a growth mindset. Am I right? Have you heard of Michael Jordan? He is known as the best NBA basketball player of all time. This is what he says.
I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 900 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot, and 26 times I've missed. I've failed over and over again, and that's why I succeed.
Michael Jordan has a growth mindset. This is also known as a positive attitude. There are two different kinds of mindsets. There's a fixed mindset. If you always have a fixed mindset, you'll never go anywhere. And then there's a growth mindset. Have you ever heard of Thomas Edison? He created the light bulb. Can you imagine a world without light bulbs? We would all be living in the dark. Whew, that's better. Did you know Thomas Edison failed at least 1,000 times? That's a lot, isn't it? But Thomas Edison had a growth mindset. This is how he puts it.
I have not failed 1,000 times. I have successfully discovered 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb.
If he didn't have a growth mindset, he would not have stuck to it and created the famous light bulb. And we might still be living in the dark if it weren't for Thomas Edison's bright idea. My message to you today is for you to create a growing mind. The road to success is not always easy. Don't ever give up. Be positive and you will succeed.
So now that you remember a bit more about the difference between growth and fixed mindset, I want to talk to you about how you can have a growth mindset. What are things that you can do that will help you get to that point? So I'm going to give you a few suggestions. First of all, is the way that you talk to yourself. Now, if that sounds crazy, well, it's not. We all have thoughts in our mind. We all talk to ourselves, even if it's not out loud. And the way that you talk to yourself is so important. So many of you have probably heard me talk about self-talk, but telling yourself things like, I can do this. Look how much I've accomplished. Look at all this hard work that I put into this. Those are great aspects of having a growth mindset, and that will help you continue to want to take on challenging situations. Next is perseverance. So basically what that word means is when things are challenging, keep trying, keep pushing through. Now, it's okay to take a break if it's that challenging, but don't just give up on it. So if you are really struggling with a certain subject, like reading, and you've decided it's so hard, you just don't even want to log into class during that time, when you know that all of your class is working on reading, then you're not showing perseverance and you're not taking on the challenge. You're not growing your brain. So basically, by pushing through, pushing yourself, that's what's going to help you continue to grow your brain and develop the muscles in your brain like they're supposed to. So even if it's hard, I want you to remember to persevere. My next suggestion is to focus on the journey. What that means is sometimes it takes a while to work through a challenge and figure out how you're going to overcome it and how you're going to get through it. Now, the important thing is realizing that sometimes it takes some time. It can take a while, but be proud of yourself for little accomplishments that you make along the way. Be proud of yourself and recognize yourself for working hard and trying. So I thought that video we just watched was a really good example of people that are focused on the journey. They recognized that they accomplished a lot, but they also recognized that they worked really hard to get there. And part of working hard was that they didn't always get things right. They didn't always make that shot, like Michael Jordan said, or they didn't always create the light bulb. That didn't happen on the first try. It was a really long journey, and that's okay. Practice, practice, practice. I'm sure you've heard this before, but if you want to get better at something, the only way that happens is by practicing. So for those of you that play video games, you know that when you start the video game, they don't put you at the hardest level because every level works up to the next so that you can practice and get better at your skills in order to be ready for that final level or challenge in order to beat the game. So there's a reason it's set up like that, because you would be really discouraged. You wouldn't want to keep playing that video game if it was that hard, right? If the very first thing you had to do seemed impossible. But the reason that it takes time to complete a video game is because they set it up like that on purpose so that you can practice at each level and continue on until you hopefully beat the game. Embrace failure. That means be just as proud of yourself, even if you make mistakes, even if you get it wrong. It's okay. You're supposed to. In fact, this is how your brain grows. Your brain is only going to grow if it has to work harder. Part of working harder is that sometimes you get things wrong, and then you have to try it again, try it a little differently until you figure it out. And the last thing I'm going to leave you with is asking for help. By combining your mind with other people's minds, you're only creating more smartness. You are going to be much more able to take on challenges by joining with others. So that's what teachers are for. That's what your classmates are there for. Lots of people can help you in all types of challenges that you face. So let's go over what we've talked about. First of all, I shared with you that your brain is like a muscle. It needs to exercise. So if you're avoiding your classwork, your schoolwork, anything that makes your brain work, then pretty much your brain is not exercising and it's going to have a lot of trouble moving forward. So start exercising it now and keep your brain healthy. The other thing we talked about is how if you have control of your mindset. And if you keep a growth mindset, then you are more likely to take on challenges and grow your brain and get better at things and accomplish more and overall just be able to have so many more experiences in life. And the last thing we talked about was how you can keep your mind growing during these tough times, during all these, in every type of challenging situation, just by using some of those different strategies that I just went over with you. So I talked about self-talk, perseverance, asking for help. Those are just a few. Try to keep those in mind because all I want for you is to continue growing your brain and be all you little smart Darnell beings. So I'm going to leave you with a pep talk because do you need a pep talk? I always do. Let's watch this.
I think we all need a pep talk. The world needs you to stop being boring. Yeah, boring is easy. Everybody can be boring, but you're good at that. Life is not a game, people. Life isn't a cereal either. Well, it is a cereal. And if life is a game, are we on the same team? I mean, really, right? I'm on your team, be on my team. This is life, people. You got air coming through your nose. You got heartbeat. That means it's time to do something. A poem. Two roads diverged in the woods, and I took the road less traveled. It hurt, man! Really bad. Rocks, thorns, and glass. My parts broke. Wah! Not cool, Robert Frost. But once they were too fast. I want to be the one that leads to awesome. It's like that dude Journey said, don't stop believing unless your dream's secret. Then you should get a better dream. I think that's how it goes. Get a better dream and keep going. Keep going, and keep going. Will Michael Jordan have quit? Well, he didn't quit. No, he retired. Yeah, that's he retired. But before that, in high school, what if he quit when he didn't make the team? He would have never made Space Jam. And I love Space Jam. What will be your Space Jam? What will you create will make the world awesome? Nothing if you keep sitting there. That's why I'm talking to you today. This is your time. This is my time. It's our time. We can make every day better for each other. If we're all on the same team, let's start acting like it. We got work to do. We can cry about it, or we can dance about it. We were made to be awesome. Let's get out there. I don't know everything. I'm just a kid. But I do know this. So everybody's used to give the world a reason to dance. So get to it.
All right. I hope you enjoyed the pep talk just like I did. It was pretty fun. Keep working on that growth mindset. Keep taking on the challenges. Don't get overly frustrated when you get something wrong or it seems too hard. Just remember that all of that effort is what's really paying off and helping develop and grow your brain. All right. I'll see all of you next time. Thanks.